Oh, Dr. Miller, we are live. Are you ready to kick this thing off?
I'm so excited.
Let's do it.
KTTV, giving you what you need. Motivation, education unleashed. H-Town representing, we forever keep it rolling. Join the conversation with inspirational stories. Thought-provoking, feel that energy. Kendrick Thomas aiming to lift the community. True indeed, tune in, come and see. Giving you what you need. KTTV, let's go. KTTV.
TTV, hey.
Oh, what to do, KTGB? This is KT, and welcome to another episode of Education Unleashed. Look, y'all, we have been taking a break. This nonprofit has been whooping me, but I had to reach out to Dr. Miller. It's been a long time coming, and so we got her in the building, y'all. How you doing tonight?
I am so honored to be here, and I'm so proud of you, your nonprofit, all the work that you do for making sure that teachers, educators, leaders' voices are heard. I just want to say thank you, mad respect, and I'm honored to be here. It's about time, KTV. I feel like I didn't make it to the top now.
My God, look, I just like to have conversation with great people, and really, it's really my cheat code because it's all be professional development for me in some kind of way. So I take it all in every episode, you know. So once again, but thank you for taking some time out the busy schedule to come on and really just talk about the work tonight. And so, how you been doing, Doc?
Listen, Doc, it's been a lot going on, but I'm doing good. I just finished doing something that was real hard, one of the hardest challenges I've had, to push my discipline, to push my focus, to love myself. I did a bodybuilding contest.
Yes.
It was a super cool experience, and super proud of myself. But yeah, I was super intentional about it to make sure that, as educators, as leaders, we always have to make sure that we are intentional about self-care and self-love, because what we do, it takes a lot from us, and so I did that. It was really cool experience. So I'm coming off of that and about to going into finishing up my book, writing my next book.
Come on,
that's it. That's all I got.
So
I'm happy to
be
be here.
I want to know, when you doing bodybuilding, and maybe this wasn't a problem for you, but like for me, I'm chocolate. Not a lot. I'm gonna get some now. Maybe some snacks. Everybody at work, they know I want the snacks. What was the hardest thing you had to give up when it came to self-discipline as preparing for the contest?
You want my honest answer?
I want the honest answer.
Wine and ice cream.
Woo! Sugar.
Wine and ice cream.
What about the relaxation?
But what was cool is that you always kind of had a cheat day, because you don't want to just deny yourself, right? Because then you won't continue it. And so me and my sister were on the phone, and we in April. So I started this journey. I had 5 months to train. That's it. And my muscles wasn't like the other muscles, but I set a goal. I set a weight goal. I met my weight goal, and I got up on that stage. So, but you have those moments where you get to have a day where you get to cheat or not work out, because that's important. Those are those balance spaces. And as an educator, a leader, you got to remember that. You can't just grind, or make your kids grind. You got to understand you're human, and you need to make space and grace for that humanity.
Most definitely. All right. Well, what we'll do, I just want to kind of talk about that a little bit. As I seen them pictures, I'm pretty sure my boy John, he does a lot of those bodybuilding, working with people, getting them prepared. So I always see the pictures through him. But well,
I'm gonna do another one.
Look.
I'm gonna do another one so I can have some real muscles. You know what I mean? So you can see my muscles.
There you go. Hey,
I ain't
so
ready
what
yet.
we'll do, we'll take a quick break. And what I want to do is come back, and then we'll get into a little news, and then we'll jump into our interview. So we'll be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the...
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Education Unleashed. Dr. Miller. For those
Talk
that
to me,
don't,
KT.
say your first name.
Queinnise, like Denise. Queinnise
Like
Miller.
Denise. Just
Queinnise
in
sounds
case
like Denise.
just in case anybody wanted to know, because they seen the name and it's Dr. Queinnise. Like Denise. Thank you, Dr. Miller. I just
Sounds
want
like
to clarify
Denise.
that.
Sounds
Now,
like Denise. There you go. But you can call me Dr.
look,
Q.
what we're going to do is I want to get into a little bit of the news. So this is what we're going to talk about. What I have been trying to do. Can you see that, Doc?
I can see it.
Okay. What I have been trying to do is keep everybody abreast of what's going on with these school vouchers.
Yeah.
And October 2nd, 2024, this was a news article from there. And so basically, we all know how hard Abbott is trying to push for school vouchers to be in the schools. And so there were a bunch of Republicans that went against the school vouchers. And what happened was now he is touting that if anybody else don't want to roll over, he gonna get them kicked out because he was able to get so many of the Republicans who were against school vouchers kicked out their seat. He ran a campaign, but now, so that's what they're doing. And so what they are doing is really that's all this story was about, but saying that it is getting closer and closer to us losing the battle on vouchers, and that's where we're headed. What you got to say about that, Doc?
Listen, I always say that in education, it's always bigger. It's always bigger. There's always a bigger agenda that's happening, So some of it is in our control, some of it is not. What is in our locus of control is what we need to be focusing on. And at the end of the day, every single day, making sure that we're fighting and advocating for children in the best way, whatever position that we've been granted to be in from that seat, we need to fight and advocate for children and what's best for children. So, I got thoughts, but pray for our leaders. That's what I want to say. We got to pray for our leaders.
Got to pray for our leaders. Amen. I remember one time so it was like we said, okay, we know Texas is a red state, and right now we have to go with that red person who is representing the closest our interest in education. And so I remember one year I pulled up to the Republican polling to vote in the primary. Do you know how that looked when I put? I said I came in for
like, what he doing here?
What you, sir? The Democratic place is not. I know what I'm doing, man. I know what I'm doing. All right.
How was that for you? How did you feel about that?
Well, that was pretty. Going into the Republican. I mean, right then, I think I felt like it was a kind of a district-wide push to say this was in the last election, so that we were all going for what was important for educators at that time. And so for me, besides the craziness of just the way it was looked at when I walked through the door, it was good for me, because I feel like sometimes you got to go across the aisle to make things happen.
Absolutely.
So, that's what it was.
By any means necessary.
Yeah, that's it. We got exactly. All right. So what we'll do, that was our news. Y'all stay abreast of what's going on with these vouchers. Like Doc say, pray for your leaders. Be aware, because this directly affects us all in education, especially in our public schools. And so we already in the fear of our enrollment, all of these pieces. So stay abreast, and then get out and do something about it once you learn. All right. Another quick break. When we get back, this is interview time. Let's roll. Look, y'all, if y'all haven't seen through the commercials, KTTV.com, we got books, we got merch, we got plans, we got everything. Oh, we got this podcast that's happening right now, live on the website. with Dr. Q. How you feeling? One more time. What's happening, Dr. Q? What you doing out right now?
I feel good. So I'm a dance mom, okay, and every single 3 days a week, my daughter goes to dance, and so I'm waiting on her. She doesn't get out till 9 o'clock. My baby has some discipline, and she's really good at what she does. Just a real quick plug: the Urban Nutcracker. If you have not seen the Houston Urban Nutcracker, you need to go. My baby will be dancing in it, but it is a phenomenal show, and it really supports like learning about Houston. So it's this mix of art, of history, and of just kind of pride. If you're from Houston, if you live in Houston, you will definitely enjoy it. So, but yeah, my baby is dancing and I'm here, just been having some me time. And I get to be here with you tonight. So excuse the background, but
we living. Yeah, I was gonna say we living. I appreciate you. Now, this is what I want to say. 20 years plus in the game.
Oh, 25 almost. Jesus, 25.
So even as we talk tonight, right, you're still doing the new heights. You're doing the bodybuilding, and it all results back to leadership. All results back to that growth, right? What still ignites that passion for the teaching, the learning, and the leading?
I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, it's the service of helping humans get better, right? And the fact that I think teaching, learning, and leading through that space, I also become a better human. And so this continuous space of growth and evolution, I find that through this work. I remember when I first became a teacher, my daddy was like, listen, you either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. It's gonna suck you in, or you ain't gonna you're gonna run far away from it. And I remember I had this student named Andrew. He was in my ESL class, and no habla inglés, no habla nada de inglés, no podía hablar en inglés, no sabía nada in inglés. He didn't speak a lick of English, okay? And he was in my ESL class and had to pass the English. Back in the day, it was the TOS test, okay? TOS test. TOS test. I mean, I'm telling my age, but and I remember, just that space with him. He stole my heart because he believed whatever I believed, and I was like, I believe you can do it. And long story short, he passed that test, and it was a miracle. And I was like he didn't. It wasn't because he knew what he was doing. It's because he believed it, because I believed it. And so I'm just continue to be passionate about the end client, which is children. And so no matter where I am, if I'm teaching, if I'm leading, if I'm learning, it's to become better so that children have a world-class education.
Yeah. And part of that goes with the work that you did through the TED Talk. And so if you can, because I think that kind of gives a little background to also the shape and form of the interview tonight. So can you give us a little bit of background on, first off, how did it feel to even go through that process? And then how did it feel to just be able to be a part of that TED? And what was it about?
So one thing about leadership is you have to have vision, and you have to be able to set goals, like the bodybuilding and things like that. And so one of my goals, one of the things on my vision board was always to do a TED Talk. And the process was not easy. It was actually the hardest thing I've ever done. As you can tell, I like to talk. I love to speak. Like, that's what I do. However, that space was very difficult. One, not just because, you are natural at this, but you've got cameras, you've got a live audience. You have to memorize, or you have to be able to just speak it. There's nothing, you don't have notes, and you get one take. Right? And so, but more importantly, it's a platform that hopefully will continue to be out there in the world for people to see, for people to learn, for people to glean from. And so knowing and understanding, like, what is the messaging? Like, if this is the last thing people know or see about me, what do I want them to know? What do I want to leave the world? And that is this message of leading with love, right? That is this message of understanding that whether you're a teacher, whether you're in leadership, no matter what role you are, a mother, a superintendent, a principal, a janitor, whatever role you're in, you're always leading, you're always teaching, but you got to do that with love, right? And so it was an amazing experience to be able to even kind of give some strategies on what that looks like, because that's really the foundation of what I do, the foundation of everything that I speak about, teach about, train about. is this notion of care, right? And so in the TED Talk, I use an acronym to just care. How do you lead with love? You just care. And I won't go all those strategies tonight, but it was a phenomenal, blessed experience. I'm grateful for it. And if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, then please go check it out. And so that you can share it with others. So yeah, those are great.
Yeah, that's them. Most definitely. And with that,
You need to do a TED
love
Talk.
and that
It's your
leading.
turn.
Yeah, I'm like I say, you know what my plan is, so I'm
I
working
got you.
on it.
I got you. I got
And
you.
then,
I support
I
you.
think if I could do that, I don't have to get on stage though. I could just
I
be in the
support you. I
background.
support you.
Like,
No,
look.
you got to get on the stage, KT. You got to get on the stage.
So now, thinking about the work with equity, right? Equity in education, school administrator, teacher. What specific strategies throughout your career have you found effective when you are looking at those equities, helping people learn to lead with love, which include creating equitable solutions? And so how have you addressed that, or what are some strategies you've used?
So absolutely. So first of all, if you haven't read my book either, you got to get my book. And the title of my book wasn't by accident. Okay. I know you got it, KT, because I sent you one. I sent you an autographed copy of one.
Yeah, you did.
But the title of my book, and I don't know if I can say it. Can I say it on this podcast?
Yes, please.
Anyway, it's The Art of Giving a Shh. Everybody can use their context clues, okay? Because the strategy is actually to care, right? That is the strategy, right? Care about humans. And then equity doesn't become this buzzword that we put in our school improvement plans or district improvement plans. Like, it happens organically. Value people, respect people, consider people, advocate, care about humans. That's the strategy, right? So, like, and as leaders in schools, like, we've got to model everything that we want kids to have in classrooms. And I think that that's something that leaders have to be held accountable for, right? But you got to model it with your staff. If you want your teachers to be kind to kids, then be kind to teachers. If you want them to be respectful, to communicate, to be graceful, to hold them accountable, like, those are the things that leaders must do with those that they lead, with staff. Because if not, then, like, why do you think it's going to happen in the classroom, right? And so I'm really big on leadership accountability, and I'm really big on making sure that leaders are not just talking the talk and telling teachers what to do, but they're actually showing them what to do.
Most definitely. I'm telling you, I wrote my goals for this year, and when I tell you, it was very detailed, but it's really thought out and it crafted. So as I do those walkthroughs, now what are you doing? You got to create that PD that goes along with helping these teachers, even if it's just at ALC with my 3 English teachers. We're gonna do something where if I feel that's what they need, that's what we're gonna do. You know, and so then, like you say, you gotta not just tell you I need this to get better and we do this, but get it in and show you the importance of it.
Absolutely.
Like you say, like what they say with the green people. Let me show you why this is important, right? So, you know, let me show you why. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now in the book, like you say, giving advice to new and veteran teachers. As you think about the book, the manuscript, and what is one piece of advice from the book that you believe every teacher should hear?
Listen.
Yeah.
If you know me, you can always hear me say, love children. The rest will take care of itself. Love children. But here's the deal. The caveat to that is that teachers got to first understand, and educators how to love themselves, because you can't give somebody something that you don't have for your own self, right? So how do you love yourselves? Like, how do you take time for you? How do you, like, what do you do to love you? Like, how are you daily depositing into yourself? Because if you don't have nothing inside, you can't give nothing. And like, how do you take care of your health? Are you in healthy relationships? Like who you are is both how you lead and how you teach who you are. So you got to do that self-work. Because if you're miserable, if you're broken, if you are all these things, and that is exactly what you're teaching children, no matter how you cover it up with your content. Because when you show up, your energy, your aura, what you say, how you live, they learn more and glean more from that than what you teach.
Most definitely. And with that, you're thinking about talking about this and going through it, but also living it as a school leader, right? When you pulled in so many ways, how do you continue to show up and build those relationships to almost practice what you're preaching to yourself?
For my staff,
how did you do it?
Right?
No, but well, even how
How did I do it?
Yeah, that trickle over to building those relationships with the staff. Like every time you got to keep practicing this and preaching this. And so the minute you don't, it shows up with
It
you.
show up. It
Yeah.
show
So
up.
how did you avoid that?
You know what? I'm thinking like my experience as a school leader, I was always like a teacher's principal because I remember being a teacher and I remember not always feeling supported, like not always feeling like I had the backing, right? And so I knew the difference that I made. And so I know the difference that teachers make. Teachers are literally the most important people in this work, I believe. I'm a teacher's principal, okay? And I mean, I think that they are the magic of making a difference in children's lives. So you take care of your people, you take care of your teachers, because when they feel supported, when they feel loved, when they feel spoiled, when they feel backed, like they're gonna run through a wall for you, just like kids do for teachers that they know feel that way about them. And we need that because this work is hard. It is hard. It is not easy. Listen, God bless all the people that are in the classroom right now. But so like I made time for my teachers. I gave them one-on-one time. I was very visible in the school so that I could address things in the moment needs. Made sure that my leadership team was very visible. I asked them questions about what they thought, what they needed, what they wanted, and then implemented their ideas so that they had some buy-in and some like this is our work. I advocated with them from central office, like if you're trying to get my teachers to do too much, like being able to have the courage and being courageous enough to say like this is not good for us right now. And then I just created a positive, upbeat culture. Like no one wants to come to a dead place where it's negative and where there's no love, there's no color. You know what I mean? Like, and I fed them a lot. No lie, I fed my teachers a lot.
Look.
I bought them some cool gifts, but I showed them appreciation. So yeah, you're gonna always get some candy. You're gonna always get some food because it's one of my love languages. So
now, are you working with schools to almost, I guess, learn to lead with love? Like, are you working with principals? Are you working with schools? And as you go out and you coach, in the times where, let's say post-COVID, where we know it's a lot of strain, it's a lot of push to get things back to normal, which I don't know, but like, what are some of the things, or either just one thing that you're seeing as a common thread on why you're needed in those schools?
Let me say this. Even though I, really catered to my teachers, I also held them very accountable for doing their job, right? And I also allowed them to hold me accountable. And so leaders are there to serve teachers so that teachers can serve kids. But the reality is it's easy to get inundated with data. It's easy to get inundated with the stress of accountability. It's easy to get inundated with the pressures from that not only that schools deal with from the district, but the district also deals with pressure from the state from federal. Like it's just a lot of pressure. And so because of that, leaders sometimes forget to do what I said. Understand that they too are human in a space doing very important work, but understanding that the teachers are human, the kids are human. Like there's this humanity in education that we sometimes forget, or sometimes people don't feel like they're allowed or able to even that they're allowed. They're having a good time. They're having a good time. They are loving themselves over there. Anyways, but sometimes people don't feel like they have I can't tell them it's at a restaurant. But that they have that they can, focus in on kids, what they need, that has nothing to do with education, because children need teachers for more than just teaching them content, right? Children need teachers, children need educators for mentorship. Children need educators for, that trusting adult to be able to talk to. Like they go through a lot, and we're not just there for instructional purposes. We're there for the whole child. So yeah, they need me because they need to sometimes be reminded that it's okay to be human, and it's okay to prioritize relationship. It's okay to prioritize positive culture, because, it's important. So, and then leaders also need love too, right? I think that leaders, because they're held so accountable, and it's a lot of accountability, but they sometimes need someone to just listen to them. They need someone to hear them. They need someone to know that, they are humans doing leadership work, and that's important. So my coaching is really focused on the needs of the leader, and helping them understand, the importance of leading with love, starting with themselves.
Yeah. And I see so many school districts now. You think about the beginning of the year, right? They're going to have the conference. They're going to push the PD out on the leaders. But a lot of the times, you think about the coveys, right? You do maybe go to a covey training, but then you get slammed. You may do like an unconscious bias training, all those pieces. But when you think about, like you say, leading with love, in your opinion, what is one way, or either some ways, that you think districts can set up those leaders to not necessarily say not to need your services, but to almost put those thoughts at the forefront so that we are proactive, not reactive, to when it comes down to I'm so inundated, I've lowered my morale or something like that on the campus?
I'm always about systems, right? And I think that it's important to put systems in place to create spaces for teachers or for leaders to have those moments of reflection, to share their challenges, to share kind of what's really happening with them. But we have to create systems for and spaces for that. Because when you create a system for something, what that does is actually speaks to the importance of it, right? It speaks to the importance of it. And so I think that a lot of districts are doing a really good job understanding that they've got to focus in, or they've got to do some work around supporting teachers and leaders with mental health, with social emotional support and things like that. And so I think it's just a matter of continuing to do those things and bring people in like me, or bring other people in that can push that agenda, while they are also focusing on the other things that are also important for student achievement.
Yeah, because it's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's hard out here in the streets. It's hard out here
I'm talking about
for a teacher.
Nola, hit them fans. Look, that's how it started right there. That's how it started right there, man. But that's good. And so when you think about being a mom, you think about administrator, college leader, like so many pieces of it now. How do those intertwine to continuously develop and adapt you to what's going on, to help you with the leading with love, like the whole journey? I know things change, you have to adapt. So how does all those outside pieces continue to change you on that journey?
So are you saying, like, how do I take my being a mother, being a consultant, professor, how do all those play a role?
Continue to influence your style, your leadership style, your approach to advocating, all that.
So let's talk a little bit about like advocating for kids, right? And I want to kind of connect me being a mother. I love my children, and I'm not gonna lie to you, in education, I've sometimes definitely put other people's children before my children, because it's just kind of, it's a part of the role, and I take ownership of those children. And so in my book, I discuss like 16 different strategies to kind of prevent discipline issues, to build strong relationships with children. And one of my favorite strategies is this notion of ownership, right? And this is as a teacher or a leader, right? Is this notion of ownership. And so every day as a teacher or a leader, like it's a day where, like, you should be giving every child what you hope and what you want for your own children, right? So if you ask my kids' teachers, like, I did not play. Like, I'm like, I want them to get the absolute best, but I knew how to properly advocate for my children, right? So every child that I've ever served as a teacher or a leader, or every staff member, like, they belong to me. Like, I take personal accountability of those that God has allowed me to serve. So the mama bear it comes out of me. And like
Yeah.
children are depending on leaders to advocate and fight for them because they can't do it. Children are depending on us as educators to fight for them. And so like this is why, like in leadership, like you got to be good on friends, and you got to know that like you're there to make a difference, and you're not there to do what's convenient for adults but what's best for children. So I remember one time, my first year as a principal, we're talking about leading with love, but my first year as a principal, I remember my kids had to walk from an apartment complex to school, and it was a very like drug and gang infested neighborhood. And I was like, oh no, they can't do that. Like my kids wouldn't be walking from here to school, right? So I had to fight, and I had to get them buses. And even though they were less than 2 miles away, like it was dangerous. And like it ain't okay for my kids, it ain't okay for them, right? And so
Most definitely.
So yeah, like I probably got on people's nerves and people didn't like me, but whatever. Like you do right by kids, or you gonna hear it from me. You're gonna hear it.
Most definitely.
You're gonna hear it.
That's
and
what
so,
it's about, though.
You know, but all of it merges, right? All of it merges because it's not in this role I focus here. In this role I focus here. Like my life's work is loving others, serving others, and advocating for children, and as well as advocating for teachers. And so it's in everything that I do, that I teach, and that I breathe.
Most definitely. Wow, that was real. And like you say, being that mama bear is innate, right? And so then that's what the kids go. Yeah, I don't have kids, so it's not. So I just really, the only experience I got is with the babies. But I think after 20 years,
those your babies.
I roll. I've been rolling. So they always come back.
Those your babies.
So I'm doing something right. So now going through it, what advice would you give to aspiring leaders who really want to make an impact in the area of relationships, in the areas of equity and social justice in their schools?
I will say, just do it. But the reality is
for real.
Not that easy. It's really not that easy. And a lot of people want to get into leadership roles, right? Become educational leaders for different reasons, right? Some of them want that title. Some of them want that parking space. Some of them want that money. And, but all money ain't good money. I'm going to tell you that. All money is not good money.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Listen, you better be careful. Listen, don't sign your soul away. All money and good money. But no, for us, what I would do is really people that want to go into this work in the educational leadership field need to really, pray about that decision for whatever that higher power is. Because this work in leadership, this work in social justice, this work in truly making an impact is more than a job. It's a calling. So like you will have to lean on a higher power to truly make a difference in the impact that you want. Like I was a praying principal. Like I knew that I couldn't carry the weight of of all of that on my shoulders. And so and don't take any job. Like it's got to be organic. It's got to be a fit for you. It's got to be a fit for the school community. Don't just jump on it because somebody gave you an opportunity. Because I've seen many leaders and many principals take a job to get in the role, to get in the seat, to get in the position, and it be very detrimental to their life and to their career because it wasn't organic and it wasn't something that was a good fit. Secondly, I think that I would tell them to really study and surround themselves with the people that are doing the work that they want to do, right? You are your friends, who you hang around with is who you are. But it also will give them an opportunity to cultivate like this network of support as they do the work, because you can't do it by yourself. And leadership is a very lonely place. It's a very lonely place. And so getting a network of people that are doing what you're doing is important. And then finally, I think that I would make sure that they have, I'm going to go back to this self-preservation, have a personal way of centering themselves, prioritizing their families, kind of have a system around that, because the work is draining. And so again, like to give all that is necessary in that space, in that ministry, you got to be good. You can't be empty, and you got to know that your family takes a big hit when you're in that work as a teacher, as a leader, as a district level, campus level, and so being very intentional about those conversations and being very intentional about making sure that you balance that time, because it can listen, leadership can literally kill you if you do not, because of the stress, right? It literally can kill you because of the stress, because of the pressure. And so I would tell them, like, be very proactive around those things.
Yes, very proactive, most definitely. I remember, so because I don't have a family, like, right, I would work 6 days a week. I just watch football at the school all day, something while I'm working. On a Sunday. But I think about my time as a high school football coach, right? And you think about the time that it takes going into working 7 days a week.
You're married to football, high school football coach.
And I was able to see, I saw like a few divorces, like over my tenure, because it was just, you would sacrifice so much. So like you say, how do you be intentional as people put it all on the line? All right, I think that will do it. I want to say thank you for that information. Yeah, so she said, hey, give a thumbs up, most definitely. Look, so what we'll do is let's take a quick break. And when we come back, well, first I want to say thank you for giving us that information, giving us those tidbits. I look forward to just recapping some of those clips to be able to share out with the community, because we have to, like we say, learning to lead with love means learning to love yourself as you lead first. And so I really agree with that statement, and being able to take care of yourself, because it's some days where I don't want to be Dr. T, but I know that if I don't show up, then what will the people behind me say?
And if you have an opportunity, definitely share the TED Talk. Like, it's kind of like when you're on this mission to provide a world-class education, you have to lead with love. And so you got to just care. And so I really share, I believe, like 8 strategies that leaders, and when I say leaders, I'm not just talking about those that lead campuses, because teachers have to see themselves as leaders in the classroom as well, right? Because you're leading a space. And so what does just care actually look like? And what is it what are those actions? Because see, love is a verb, KT. Love is not what you say, it's not how you feel, it's what you do. And what are the things that you need to do in schools, do in classrooms to love children? And so, I hope you enjoy it and share it with your people. But this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share.
Most definitely. All right, so what we'll do, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we have 2 more segments. So we'll do our parent-teacher corner. And so in that, tonight we'll talk about effective communication. I got something for parents and for teachers. And then, of course, we will highlight, I want to say, our super teacher. We're just going to highlight our super teacher. All right, so let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, y'all, welcome back. This is KT and Dr. Q. I'm just going to say Q. I ain't going to even go Queinnise like Denise. I'm just going to say Dr. Q.
Dr.
Look,
Q.
in the building. And so if y'all missed it, go back and do a replay. Doc had just really, we had a great conversation tonight, just simply about equity, simply about leading with love, simply just about being someone who puts yourself first so that you can pour from a full cup and not an empty one. But now, let's jump into, hashtag. All right, parent teacher corner, let's go. All right, y'all, welcome back to Education Unleashed. And so tonight we're in the parent teacher corner, where my goal is to bridge the gap between the home and the school to build stronger, more effective relationships between the teachers and the parents. And so tonight we will focus on one of the most important aspects of parent-teacher dynamic, effective communication, right? It's the beginning of the year. We got a lot going on. This is the time when we should be building those relationships with the good stuff with the good stuff. So let's focus on it. So let's face it, whether you're a teacher or a parent, staying on the same page is challenging. Misunderstandings, lack of communication can make things harder for one person who matters the most, and that's the student. So remember, when that communication breaks down, we not suffering. It's the baby who suffers. So today, let's explore some tips and strategies to improve communication and strengthen that all-important relationship. And so, Doc, if you got anything to say as I go down these, please jump in.
I got
so
some.
The first
all
one,
right.
For this one is for the teachers. Be proactive. So reach out early in the school year with positive feedback so that the parents know you are invested in their child's success.
And you know what, KT, about that? The reality is you may be, don't be like, they not going to call me back. They don't want to know. They not going to, I don't ever hear from them. No, parents want to know what's happening. So communicate. No matter what you may think they're going to do with the communication, parents love their children. So the more you communicate, the more that you're going to be able to get that support.
Yes, please believe that picture is on somebody's mantle somewhere in the world. All right, next one. Use clear, simple language. So avoid the educational jargon when speaking to parents who may not be familiar with certain terms, right? They don't know what a BIP or the SBA, right? They don't know what this is. Let's talk to the parents and break it down, assuming that no one knows anything. And I think I was in a training the other day, and he said this always from Brene Brown. Clear is kind is clear. And so we'll keep that rolling. All right.
That's good.
Next one. Offer solutions, not just the problems. So when discussing challenges, provide suggestions for improvement so parents feel empowered to help their child. What you think about that, Doc?
Listen, empowered is the magic word. That's the hashtag. You need to give yourself one of those. Because parents don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. And so we do know. And it's our jobs to let them know so that they can appropriately advocate for their children.
Next one is be accessible. So encourage open communication. Let parents know the best ways and times to reach you, whether that's through an email, a class app, or schedule conferences, right? So I know you may sign their planner every day, but mama may not read that planner. Sometimes you got to pick up that phone and reach out. Just a heads up on that. Okay, now, as we move along in this segment, I want to talk to the parents. Parents, this is for y'all. I ain't trying to tell y'all what to do, but when you come to this school, please come with a positive tone. I'm at work, and I'm putting it all on the line every day for your baby. So building that strong relationship begins with acknowledging the good things that are happening in the classroom. Even if it's just, this other school used to call me 10 times a week. Y'all only call twice. Just tell me that. Let me know that I'm doing something too, please. Because every time I start with talking about Johnny, I'm going to start positive. Let's work together.
Teachers need love too. Teachers need love
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Please. Okay, the next one. Oh my God. Be respectful of the teacher's time and administrator for that. We're juggling a lot, so try to schedule a time to talk to her. Don't just pop up and just please. It's real in there, y'all. I'm just trying to give y'all some tips. I ain't telling y'all what to do, but just be respectful of the teacher's time. We're going to try to be respectful of your time. The next one, be honest about the challenges at home, right? Because we deal with this baby about the same amount of time as you do. If something off, we gonna know. And when we know, we gonna call you and we gonna ask, is everything going okay at the house?
Wait, KT, sometimes the teachers with them more than the parents are. We know.
Let's talk about it. No, I thought you had something else to say.
Oh, you want me to say? I'm just saying, like, we educators are with children more than parents are, because by the time they come home, eat dinner, like they going to sleep. You get them in their sleep time most of the time. So don't be in denial. Parents, here's the deal. Okay, I got 2 kids, and what I know is who they are in my house and who they are at school could be different children. So don't be acting like, oh no, my kid wouldn't do that. Know who they are. Yep, they cuss. They cuss at school.
Yeah.
They may not cuss at home, but they cuss at school. And so, like, you just never know. So don't be in denial. Just trust us because we care.
Most definitely. Most definitely. That's it. If there's something going on to round this conversation out with this piece, if there's something going on that affects your child's behavior, don't hesitate. Please. We need to know this, right?
Yeah.
And last but not least, follow through on commitments.
Ooh.
If we got the data back and we say, Johnny need to read 30 minutes every day, you have showed up to the teacher conference. So you invested, you care, you pulled up. Make sure you do that at the house. Stick to the commitments, follow through, because once again, even the days when you don't feel like it, it doesn't affect you. It may affect you because you didn't have to do what you usually do. But at the end of the day, that's hurting the student. And we got to make the best decision for that student at home and at school. I think
Together
that's it for me.
Together we're powerful. Together we're powerful. And I know people hear it a lot, but it does take a village. And know that teachers and educators and administrators are part of your child's village. And so help us out. Do your part.
Hey, please. Effective communication is the key to achieving your part.
Yeah, and it's the C in just care. When you lead with love. Communication can cure cancer, baby. Communication is the key. So when you're leading at home with your kids and their education, like as well as teachers, like communicate.
Oh, I like how you do that. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right, y'all. What we'll do, let's take a break. And when we get back, we will do our outstanding educator spotlight. All right, outstanding educator spotlight. Let's go. All right, y'all. Tonight's outstanding educator spotlight goes. Well, it comes from Miss Ada Wicks, who is a kinder educator at the Rhodes School for Performing Arts. She is highlighting Miss Cassie Roberson, and she is a curriculum and instructional specialist coach to Miss Wicks. And so she says Miss Wicks continues to impact her scholars with her passion. Parents love her, colleagues and administrators respect her, and the community supports her. Miss Wicks takes learning to a high level. The most memorable event this year was the wedding of Q and U, no names. We had a complete wedding ceremony officiated by Judge Joe Simmons. Miss Wicks continues to raise the bar, and her message to Miss Wicks was, Miss Wicks, thank you for all you do. Thank you for allowing me to continue to grow your craft. I am blessed to know a sweet soul such as yourself. Keep pushing and praying. Your purpose will always shine. Much love, Cassie.
I love that. See, that acknowledgement is important. That keeps people doing this work. Keep people pushing. That is beautiful. Congratulations.
Well, I'm gonna send, I will send the link out to you just so you can nominate somebody and we can keep that train going. I'll do that.
Let's keep the train going.
Hey, all right. Well, I think big shouts out to Ms. Wicks, like you say. Big shouts out to Ms. Roberson.
Shouts out.
This work is hard. I mean, no other way to describe it. And so, like you say, we got to keep people. That's why I wanted to come up with this segment, because how do we give people their flowers now? Because it takes time, and a lot of times our families do suffer. You have to be selfless, and you got to go broke sometimes. And so then, shouts out to everybody who is doing this for the love.
And you know what? Again, I got another plug. The A in care is for you to acknowledge your staff, acknowledge your people for the work that they're doing, so they know it's not in vain. Like, that's important. So shouts out to you for making this segment. That's cool.
Man, all right. Well, I think we are going.
You got it going on.
Look, no, it's not about us. Well, that's the only way I got it going on. I keep it not about me.
It's not about us.
That's it.
That's leadership.
So, as we get ready to close this thing out, And I know you gave us a final word throughout the interview, but do you have any closing phrases, tidbits, or knowledge that you'd like to depart from us with, or for us to depart from you with tonight?
You know what? I just want to say again, I'm grateful that we get to do this work. And I want people to remain grateful that you get to do this work. You don't have to do this work. You get to do this work. And, you know, I hope and I pray that those that are in this work, that you have a passion for it, because when you follow your passion, in it lies your purpose. And children need us. They need you operating in your passion and your purpose. And I'll be honest with you, if this ain't what you want to do, listen, don't do it. Don't do it, because at the end of the day, this is a matter of life and death. It's a matter of life and death. And we have blank slates. We are the people that get to determine the destinies of children's lives. And that is not, we can't take that lightly. Whether you are a teacher, whether you're a leader, whether you are a parent, like, we get a chance to write on the slates of these children's hearts, their minds, and their souls. So don't take that for granted. Understand the ministry behind this work, and just love children. The rest will take care of itself. And always, always, always lead with love.
Lead with mic drop. Bam.
And one more thing.
Come on now.
This is God's work, because we get a chance to be able to take care of his most precious, precious, precious gift, which is children. So don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. So I appreciate you. You are amazing, KT. I love the energy here. I love the, you know, like, you are, I'm very proud and honored to be here with you today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It was
stay encouraged.
Yes, because we know it's hard, but we're gonna keep on pushing because it's bigger than me. And so even them days when I don't, as long as I got the strength, keep on rolling. Hey.
You don't even know that song, KT.
I don't, but I was gonna jam with you though. I was gonna jam with you. All right, look, y'all, I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Everybody who will watch this on the replay, big shouts out to you. Make sure you go to ktv.com, get locked in with the book, get locked in with the merch. Everything that you need is over there. Even download, subscribe, share, all that good stuff to the YouTube. We will see you all back next week, blind, crippled, or crazy. So this is Dr. Q, and this is KT for KTTV signing out. 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
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 KT